What's up? What's up? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy to see you all here. I think we might be finishing Talos Principle today, but I want to 100% this bitch before I go to the tower. So who knows? This could be a stream where I get walled on a puzzle that's stupid and for idiots. But otherwise, how are we all doing today? I didn't get a lot of time to hype about it last time, but check out this cute background that Anshin made me. Thank you, Echo, for reminding me to take my meds. It's good to see you too. Let me actually say hi to everybody. Let me see. I suppose I'll say hello to Saribot, even though it ignores me. Hello, Eve. Congrats on claiming first. Hello, Aaron. And then we have other people here who have not decided to chat yet, but I can see you. I hope you realize that I can see you. Hi, Cherry. There you are. Good to see you. So how come, Aaron, how come BadBot works for you, but not for me? Does it know? Does it know that I'm a bully? Does it know to disregard my words? Wow. Wow. I've played some exploding kittens in VR chat. I exploded. Good. You are a little kitten and you will explode. That makes sense to me. That reads, that tracks. Been doing well, played some DS3. I love DS3. Ended up picking the Hollow Slayer and a Store Greatsword because I cannot let go of pretty swords. They're gorgeous swords. The Hollow Slayer Greatsword is so cute, and I do wish it wasn't so situational. You know, it's bonus versus hollows. Like, you know, like the parts of the game that matter are bosses, and only a few of the bosses in the game are hollows, you know. Slave Knight Gale, of course, counts, so that's pretty good. But like I wish that swords that were that big and interesting had a more consistent use throughout the game, and it could be more central to a build. Now, I actually don't have anything much to yap about. I'm just trying to get in the habit of starting on this screen instead of getting right into the gaming to get everyone warmed up to the fact that I'm here and I'm so pretty. Final thing I do want to note, though, is last time we integrated K-Bonk so you could throw random junk at me, which for some reason you want to do. It had all the default assets. This time it has assets made by Anshin just for free because he's nice, because he likes me and thinks I'm hot. He's so fucking sweet. So all these throwables are now syringes and pills, and plus the default water bottle because hydration is part of medication. And I've doubled the prices because you all got a little trigger happy. You all got a little fucking trigger happy, and I was not having it. So that's the news. That's the update. Let's get to our fucking god-pissing Talos Principle moment. You look not only throw, but also throw-attable. Well, okay. I can understand your urge to attack me at a range because I know that if you get too close to me, you'll die. Okay, that's right. I gotta do the sound adjustment. Hold on. That like right there. Ooh, what? It's a placebo for me. If they look hollow, I just believe it'll do more damage to them. Honestly, so video games are very complicated illusions, and the illusion is finalized when it enters your brain and is processed. So if you believe it, it's real. That's a very David Hume thing to say, Dove. That's very all we are is a bundle of perceptions, Dove. And I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Okay, I wanted to check if there was another thing I needed to break down with an axe somewhere in here. No, looks like we're fine. Throwing stuff is my only ranged attack. I gotta use it when I can. Echo Gloom, you're sounding more and more like one of those old cartoon housewives that, like, when a mouse shows up, they go, oh! And they get up on the stool and they go, get it, Tom, get it! You know? That's what you sound like to me. Okay, I believe we've already unlocked this dude. Let's just do a little check around, see if I'm missing a star here. I kick mouse like football. Jail for Echo Gloom, 10,000 years. Okay, I'm missing a star here. And then did we get all of this? We never opened this. We need more stars. Yeah, we need to get more stars. Okay, so specking only range attacks is funny until someone just throws a fucking handle at you like it's a pillow. Heh. Oh, this one. This fucking piece of shit. With QR that I can't read. No, we can change how this looks. By selecting the pillars. I feel like there are QRs that are not reading that should be reading. I feel like this is a glitch. And honestly, right off the bat, I'm gonna cheat. What world is this? World 1-3 or A3, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna straight up cheat. I don't give a shit anymore. Because, like, I feel like these QR codes are not... Actually, let me find that out first. Talos principal can't read QR code. Maybe this is a glitch, maybe it's... All QR codes I found are readable, someone says. Okay, as soon as a third world, you need a phone or online QR. Okay, so you need to take pictures of these QR codes in order to... If the game doesn't read them for you, you gotta do it yourself. I'm not gonna fucking do that. Straight up, I'm not gonna fucking do that. So instead, we're just gonna cheat. Because listen. Okay. Thank you, and okay, guys, Zero. I will take a sip of my water. I use your full Christian username to make you know that you're in trouble for throwing things at me. Yeah, so we're just gonna fucking cheat because I'm not gonna... I use my phone to record my face to control the rig, so I'm not gonna fucking use it to take pictures of QR codes right now. So in which case, Talos principal world 3 QR code. Okay. Let's find out what they're talking about, huh? You get some text and a hex code, find a hex to text converter and get this. All right. So, okay. Yeah, so the wow, a lot of people hate this puzzle actually. What the hell? Wow, yeah, a lot of people hate this. Hey, I'm sorry, this is not good TV, but I just gotta find out. Oh god, fucking website's being bad now. Jesus Christ. Okay, so there, I found our solution. And by found, I mean someone gave it to me after I specified. So pillar 20 and pillar 7. Basically, the idea is you get a QR code reader by taking a picture of it outside the game. And then you convert the hex code it gives you into a date, and then you're going to use the clock to punch in the year based on 2 different ways to read the numbers. And that's way too many steps for a video game, frankly. Huh? Where? Ah, ooh. Haha. Well, that's behind us. Dove, why are you cheating at the puzzle game? Because a game shouldn't make me get a fucking external thing to fucking decode something to get a little thing. I'm not into that. I'm not like that. If I got the game, everything I need to do the game should be within the game. That is a principle, a Talos principle, if you will. That's not what that is. Preposterous that no servant of yours is ready to do that for you. Exactly, exactly. Oh, hi, Soup. Good to have you here. I'm happy you like that fucking line I spat in our DMs. QR codes just kind of suck, TBH. Actually, yes. Eve, so real. Have you seen the fucking QR code menus? A fucking dearth upon them. Fucking hate them. In order to dine at this restaurant and know what we serve, you need to get out your cellular telephone that I presume you have, because if you aren't in a position in your life where you can have a thing that takes a picture and accesses the internet, you're not allowed to eat at my establishment. How fucking anti-homeless is that? Strawberry Divide, welcome in. Is that what is that little emote? It's so cute. What is that? I would never, because I do not go outside, but I've heard tales. It sucks so much. Please just give me a menu. Honestly, if you bother to print out a menu with QR codes, you already have everything at your disposal to print out a normal fucking menu. If a restaurant gives me a QR code instead of a menu, I will demand to flail the manager. Correct. It's a Pokemon, little piggy named... Oh, I have a thing covering my chat slightly. Wait. Lechonk? Lechonk? Oh, that's adorable. Lechonk. Oh, yeah, baby. That's rock and roll. Okay. So we have a whole star to find, and it's probably... Okay, so this is a locked gate, so I'm guessing our star is in here. Just want to make sure. The only time I accept needing external tools for a video game is when it advertises a game that has more to it, like an ARG. Yeah, like that has to be part of the explicit promise. You got to be signing up for that. I did not sign up for having to take a picture of a QR code with my phone and then going on a whole ARG to get something in the game. I've seen pictures of stores where the price of items was behind a QR code. Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's absolutely horrendous. Just to know how much something costs, that I feel like should be a crime, a punishable offense. Like a QR code it's a really cool way to express information in an image, but ultimately it's just such a fucking pain in the ass, and it's so alienating, it's inaccessible, and it's easy to exploit. Hi, you got internet working? Allegedly. We're gonna see. It's been pretty stable for the past hour and some change. Welcome in, Maury. I would really prefer those stupid screen fridges over QR code price tag. Oh, absolutely. Screen fridges, I fucking hate them. But at least that is an interactable piece of design. Now, of course, screens are different. Ghost, hi Ghost, good to have you here. I loved your new rig, by the way, your little 3D self. So stabbable in a whole other dimension of space. Cute. Are you a smart boy? I'm actually a genius. In case you didn't know that, I'm actually a fucking genius. Imagine they start doing it at petrol stations, can't see the price of fuel until you stop and scan. Oh man, don't give them ideas. Don't give the fucking surveillance state ideas on how to fuck you like that. Yeah, so screens, in order to like interact in daily commerce, are better than, you know, QR codes, obviously, but they're still bad. For a big reason for me is there's no way you're gonna put Braille on a screen, right? Imagine someone who is vision impaired trying to interact with a screen. that's a nightmare. You go to your local grocer and you can't open up the fucking thing to look at what the milk is or the drink. And so you got to touch the screen. Well, sorry, I can't see very well. I need to read the braille. Where is it? Oh, it's just a smooth fucking piece of glass that's going to be shifting information around. Of course. Dub doesn't drive, so he doesn't have to worry. That's true. I don't have to worry. Yep, I have men to do the driving for me. Gotta go ask an employee. Ugh, exactly. It's so alienating. Okay, so the idea is we're trying to find the keys to that gate. And I bet they're in a puzzle because we've kind of looped around the external zone for a minute. Yeah, I think they're gonna be in a puzzle somewhere. Passenger princess, that's fucking right. I have loyal, stupid, slavering dogs to drive my limousine for me while I recline. Actually, no, you know what? Let's make it a hearse. I'm gonna get a hearse to be my personal fucking vehicle. While I recline in the back atop a coffin so sexily under a miniature chandelier. And then we hit a speed bump and the chandelier snaps and crushes my abdomen and kills me instantly. And that is the horniest you will ever get. Okay, I've already solved these puzzles, but I need to find out if like there's keys hidden in any of them. So for now, it's not going to be regular solves. It's going to be just looking around. Okay, I think I'm fine here. Ooh, what? Ooh, ooh. Nothing. Okay, I think this one's fine. I stopped shopping at Walmart because my local store has all the personal care products behind glass and it's a burden on me and the employees. Oh, wow. Brr. Oh, shit. Okay. So this is where the star is. So we need to find a jammer? Or maybe, hold on. Not necessarily. Is there a cable somewhere? Okay, yeah, so we need to find a jammer. So Bro, why are they so scared of people stealing necessities? This huge company, America's fucking unreal. Hey, I'll tell you something that really stacks on the horror of this. Target, you know, the retail industry giant Target, extremely easy to steal from intentionally because they have one of the best surveillance mechanisms and records around, and they've had it for a while. In fact, their system is so good that they can predict if someone is pregnant based off of their purchases before they themselves or any of their family members know that they're pregnant. And that was true years ago. They were able to do that years ago. Target has that capability. They're that fucking precise. And here's the thing, they let you steal from them until you have stolen a sum total of over 1,000 USD, so that way they can nail you with a felony instead of a misdemeanor. Okay, were we just in here? We were. So yeah. So I get distracted and I forget my system. Doesn't the FBI also use them for like genetic material processing as well? Because their anti-theft tools are so precise. Yeah. Uh-huh. Hello, Yowie Orb. Okay. Well, pretty sure there's no keys in here. If I end up doing my whole cursory pass and just don't find the keys, I'm gonna cheat again because I'm not here to just run around in circles. That's not good TV. The megastores suck with the wealth of the communities and kill off local competition, and there's no wealth left, they leave. Yep, absolutely. Yaoi orb? Soup, do you want to see why it's a yaoi orb? I'm gonna go back and show you. I'm gonna show you what the yorbs can do. Alright? Here's how the yaoi orb works, okay? See that orb in there? Bouncing around? It's a boy. See this gun? It's a boy. Now watch the romance happen. Yaoi. Romance. And they were both boys. They were both boys and they detonated upon contact. No. What? That was a Trixie Mattel ass noise. Okay. The guards must be crazy. Maybe there's a key in here. No? Okay. She can't believe this is allowed on Twitch. Don't tell anyone. I'm still a small channel. Please don't scroll past. I'm just trying to become a big content creator. Yeah, there's gotta be keys in here. This place is so big and convoluted. Oh, to detonate upon contact with another boy. It's mystical. It's compelling. What's this? Oh, interesting. Is this important somehow? Yes! Found the keys! We're getting out of here, gang. I didn't even have to cheat for that one. No, I'm a detonation version. It's okay. Mori, come here. Waiting for Dove to find another Minecraft sword. I doubt there's another one. Okay, we got our jammer. Now, where was that thing? That thing, that thing, that thing. Boom. Gotta go have fun. Bye, Soup. Okay. Star got. Let's just check. 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 Obviously, we've been in there. We have yet to unlock that one. We're fine there. Check. 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 Okay, okay. Temple 1, we got all the fucking stars. Nice and easy. How many more do we need? This lock requires more sigils. What if a tattoo that said front toward enemy? There is this creator online, X-Rafstar, who writes a lot of short, cool fiction and makes games about bugs and really toxic, evil yaoi, and I love it. And there, one of the things they made is called Cunt Toward Enemy. That shit fucking rules. And to be clear, on my channel, I don't say cunt, I say cunt. You gotta really just fucking, like a targeted missile. Capitalize the T. Like Izzy Rowland on hit television show Game Changer. Directly at the camera, cunt. And Automod won't let you say it, because I'm special. There you go. Got the star. Got the star. Got the star. Oh, we're 2 stars short in world B4. Oh, it's this fucking shit. (2014, 12/11) entry denied. So I have a suspicion that I need to change my system clock. Let's see. Date and time settings. Nope, we're not setting it. How can I change it? Here we go. We're gonna go for December 11th, 2014. Change. No, maybe November 12th. Maybe it reads a different way. Izzy, my beloved. Oh, we love Izzy. She's crazy. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna swap the day and the month. Change it manually. We're gonna go November 12th. Really? What's the problem? I've set the date. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna switch it back one more time and then leave and go back and just make absolutely sure this is what we're trying to do. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna look up what the hell this is supposed to be. December 11th, 2014. Okay, we're gonna reload the space once. Wow, just being shitty. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, I'm going to look this up, of course. Talos principle. We're gonna look up B4. And the stars. Wow, it's really not. All right, I'm just gonna look this up. Talos principle, stars, B4. Okay, yeah, people are being stupid. People are being stupid online about this. The Talos principle, B4, wall. It's an Easter egg. There's a way to bypass it and see. Okay. It's a Papers, Please reference. Oh, fuck, and we have an ad break starting. I didn't even notice. I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm gonna keep looking at this. Okay, hi, welcome back. I'm happy I looked that up because the fucking barrier wall is an Easter egg and has nothing to do with our star hunt. So that would have been a huge waste of time if I had managed to fucking bang my head against that. Yeah, wowie indeed. I feel like Easter eggs should be a little more clearly Easter eggs, but then again, I think maybe that's just me being salty right now at how that was a huge attempt to waste my time. I prefer yaoi over wowie. Absolutely believe that. For some reason, I find that to be very true. Okay, nope. Ba 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 ba. Kind of like shouting Eureka, Eureka. That's awesome. All right, Eve, you're currently the monarch of the chat. You can bite whoever you want in there. Go ahead and do it. What's that do? Oh, that's fine. I don't care about that. Okay, okay. We're going to put you there. We gotta get this into a bit of a solve state right now. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. About right there. Okay, okay. By privilege required. Let's go until someone else says something funnier. Today I watched over 3 hours of videos on DaVinci Resolve so I can get good. Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's Slayalicious, I suppose? Okay. We have a mission. I think this is the loser. Right? Yeah, yeah. I think this is the loser with which we are concerned. Put that there. Give me that. Haha. Star. Haha. And then I know I can... And... Ha-ha! Let's get the hell out of here. Right into the Sphinx Sissy. Uh-huh. Gotta blast him. Jeez, who was the Sphinx model out there? Was it Ramses the Third? I'm really out of date on my Egyptology. Someone in my Discord pronounces Yahweh like Yoi unironically. Ooh. Like, I know the correct is Yahweh. But Sphinxes are so fucking hot. Yeah, for real. I didn't actually check. Did I get all the stars here? I did not. Okay. Oh, because it's this fucking thing. Right. God. Ramses, don't mind if I do. Hell yeah! Yoi. I do love when boys kiss, that is yoi. My name is Zhuzh, and I'm Zhuzh. You guys see that video? You guys see that funny video where the thing? Okay, I know I already spent a lot of time on this one, so we're gonna get the old guide out again. Before. Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, okay, cool. So Iron Curtain will get a fan from, and Slightly Elevated will make a connection through. Got it. Hehehe. Not the 4 chambers. Not me, myself, and Jammer. This one. I suspected this one. Yeah, okay. Give me that. This is mine. That goes here. No. Give me that. Girl at the petrol station called me cute. Oh my god. Okay, so not like this. Not like this. We're gonna do it like this. Okay, okay. Ha! Ha ha! There we go, baby! Ramses, but with 2 E's and it's pronounced the same way that characters in YouTube poops vids do. Ramses! Stupid. Okay, so we need to get the fan out from, is this the one? Nope, not this one. Yeah, okay. So we got a fan out of here before. How was this done? Obviously, this is the fan in question. Or perhaps this one. Yeah, that's right, that's right. We were able to hop... Okay, I remember. Do you see the Tony Hawk trailer, by the way? I did. Well, I mean, I saw that it exists. I've never really been enthused by Tony Hawk. The skating games, like, people say they rule, and I believe them, but it's just not my shit. It's just not my shit. Hey, gang, it's just not my shit. Sorry to tell you this, it's just not my shit. Right. Okay, fine. Give me that. Okay. Yep. Stop it. I was a skater boy. See you later, boy. All right. I hear you. But it's just not my shit. Nope. Okay, you need to be able to, like, directly position that, huh? Good. Huh. Oh, yeah, we can do it. Excellent. And we've got it. We fucking got it, gamers. Well, this is a nice view. Let's get the hell out of here. No stars in that one. 2 in this one. Okay, we have some figuring to do. Yeah, I never said that. Once again, I think it's better TV if I just know where I'm going first. Like, I need to know where the puzzle is to solve it. I think I'm going to allow myself that. Jesus, what fucking world are we in? Seven, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a star in Big Lump of Mine. Okay, got it. Uh-huh. So that one. Fuck. Come on, I'm trying to game! I want that. Come back here, loser! The Yowie orbs are ignoring me. Mm-hmm. My cube. Cube for me. A fate worse than death. Well, they are suffering a fate worse than death because I've stolen their Yowie cube. I just need to find where to deploy this. Can I go this way? This looks auspicious. God's not bitching at me. Aha! Aha! The Yoob. Ah, geez, Yoob. That was Joey from the dub of hit anime Yu-Gi-Oh! Another huge pyramid. What mad ambition it must have taken to build such things. Just a big pile of rocks. Dog, once again, you're really just digging into it, man. We love Dog. Okay, let me check my little guide again. A fan across forever. And then stack that as high as we can. Yep. And then we can pull it into bouncing side by side. You got it. The Yoob. Oh, I was about to drink water, but alas, I've made that into a reward now. If only someone would redeem hydrate. Then I could take a drink. Just a regular throw? What the fuck is wrong with you, Echo? That's better. Next time, hand it to me gently. Water. Specifically Voss brand water. This video not sponsored at all. Just kidding. If you guys have ever actually like had Voss water, it fucking sucks. It is compellingly bad. Dink my oiter. Thou must. Okay, where's the fucking, I like the sun. If I want to drink liquid plastic, I'd microwave my credit card. Just stay there, I guess. Right. But that's okay, because I don't need to do that. I can just do this. Hee. Yeah, Cherry is here with the zingers. In fact, that was actually such a good and honorable zinger. A profound zinger, in fact, that I think Cherry is now the king of chat and can bite whoever they want. That goes there. And then... No. Where's my fucking jammer? I just had it. Gang, where's the jammer? Did I leave it over there? I bet I left it over there. Yeah, I did. Very funny that I'm being given permission to bite people considering my stream persona is literally a vampire, but you know what, we take those. Yes, vamp to vamp communication and conversation. Absolutely get biting in my chat. They're my dogs. I'll let you take a little crunch. Okay, set that up. That goes there. This... Prepared. Not a whole lot of jamming. Bouncing side by side. Was that it? Is there a red door? What requireth me? Yes, that's right. Okay. Here, boom. And then... I see you. Booyah! The heist! That was World 7. That's nowhere. That's nowhere. What, is that it? We got them all? Little final check. Got it? Okay. Yeah? Alright. Okay. Wow. Oh, I didn't even notice the throw. I'm sorry, the sound effect sounded like fucking, my feet landing on the ground. Okay, and we've already gotten this one. The fact that I didn't even notice made it 10 times funnier. Hey, as long as it was amusing, I feel bad for not noticing. Patricia bites you and you don't bite her. Don't bite the tiny vampire princess, so mean. Hey, I'm sorry to say this, but I only bite boys. I respect women too much. And if you're non-binary, it's kind of a coin flip. You're on thin ice. Okay, so we're completely done with Temple B. We're biting tiny vampire girls now. I see how it is. And with stickbag.png. Do have the kind of way to growl at period cramps. I do constantly. More than once a month. Come on. Okay. Okay. We just gotta check it all out. Okay. World C3. Let's figure it out, huh? I want to know where I'm going. Because stars could be anywhere in the level, and I'm like, that just hunting them down is, you know, ugh. C2? No, C3. Okay, get a light set up in jammer quarantine. Wow. So we go from quarantine into connectors into Weathertop. I never would have figured this out. I never would have figured this out. Okay, okay. Dub bleeding from his pussy sutures. Occasionally that happens. Sometimes I'll accidentally tear one. And it's fine. It's a perfectly natural occurrence, frankly. Right. Hold on. I need the box. Okay. Many such cases. Looking into it. Okay, yeah. You'd think this one would be it because it's so open, but no. Right, okay. So what we need to do is grab a second one of these. Hold on. And we're also gonna need a cube. Perfect. So now I need to look at where I've got that one. Is there anywhere I can get line of sight on the bad boy? Let me figure out where I'm looking. There. Gotcha. Uh-huh. Excellent. Those favorite shape, cube. Cube. And here we go. This was the one I was hunting. That's right. Now we can finally pull some light in. If you stuff hard enough, you can get many boy into a cube. That's very true. I believe that's a technique that a lot of drag queens use. You just gotta stuff it hard enough, and then your boy parts get exactly where you need them to be. Okay, okay, cool. You climb over here. Ooh, okay, okay, we need something else. We need something else. How's about, this? We're not coming back here. But no, we need the cube. We need specifically a cube to make this delivery. So... first things first, we need to get this. Hold on, can we just... not quite. Not quite. Oh, okay, cool. No, we can solve this. We can solve this. Because I won't need this. Can hold that here. This comes with me. And then we put that there. We take this back. Launch it. Yeah. Just a pile of dismembered boys. That's his bed. Yeah, I'm not against that. I would do that on occasion to make a point. Certainly. Where's the cube I launched? Hey, gang. I launched a cube over here. Oh, did I accidentally just launch it back? I did. Here we go. Set that up just like that. I showed you my cube, please respond. So this is a hexahedron actually. Don't misgender it. This is what I'm after. Cool, cool. And now we just need the jammer. Which can go here. Haha. Another cube. All right. So the point's to get in here. Oh, okay. We can do it. We have it. We have it. We have our solution. Maybe not. Because I need one more object on which I can stand. Hold on. Huh. Apparently there are 2 hexahedrons to be claimed. Okay, I have a apparently there is a 3rd one I can find. How do y'all feel about Plant Boy, but he's just poison ivy? Would? Yeah, I think a lot of people would. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a very strong and it's honestly compelling argument. We've already gone in here. There's just that one, right? How do we get you out of here? Is the question. I might have to reset the puzzle. Hmm. No. Not there could be more to be done here. See, this is problematic. This is problematic. Because I can't get rid of this barrier. Hold on. I think I can get it. I think I can get it. Yes. Haha. Looks like an ad break is starting now, but I'll see you in a bit. Hi, welcome back, welcome back. Hey, the conversation in chat has actually reminded me I have a book recommendation because there's some characters in it that they don't have, let me disclaimer up front, they don't get gay together, but I ship them so hard. And the book itself is actually pretty fucking solid, and I like this author a lot. Hold on, let me get it up. Let me get the image of the book up. Let's see here. We're gonna get our window capture visible. And we're going to make it capture this image. Okay, so I recommend this book. It's called The Darkest Part of the Forest. It's by Holly Black. And it's a YA fantasy, fun little adventure. Holly Black is fun though because she conceptually likes to play with these ideas of like society grappling with the emergence of some kind of fantasy creature, a vampire or a fairy or something, and how society like changes to accommodate them, and how media and imagery and fantasy starts to revolve around this new class of people and kind of fetishize them, so like there's some fun stuff in Holly Black's work. This particularly though is a YA book, so expect that sort of like style of writing, kind of direct, simple, bright, kind of fun stuff. But here's the thing: Darkest Part of the Forest is about a tourist trap town where this small community is kind of like in a fae meadow. There are fairies there, and tourists will come to like interact with the fae, and they'll just get fucking eaten because they think it's all fun and games, and then they die. And it's about this girl who lives in the town, and she has this whole plot going on. But there's these side characters, right, that I ship together so hard. They're twins, but they're not twins, because the thing is, there's this little story about this lady in town who had a baby, and then the baby got swapped out for a changeling by a local fae, right? And so she like took one look at the baby. It's like, it looks a lot like my baby, but the eyes are wrong and his ears are a little pointed. It's not my baby. So she takes a fire poker and burns the baby and makes it scream. So the fairy baby's mom actually comes and says, all right, fine, stop burning my kid. We'll swap him back. Here's your kid back. Now give me mine. And the human lady's like, no, you abandoned this kid to me. I'm gonna keep it. These are both my sons now. And she raises them as twins, and by the time that the present day of the story happens, these twins are like hot fucking teen ginger boys who are identical, except one of them has like mystical eyes and pointed ears. And I'm like, and they scissor, right? They scissor behind the scenes, right? You're telling me they scissor behind the scenes, right? Because come on. Like, that's so good. Like, that's a really cool small anecdote to build the world. And also, that's peak yaoi. And they scissor behind the scenes, right? Come on. Don't worry, Holly Black. You don't need to write that. You don't need to put that in the publish. I know somewhere on a private AO3 account, you write about some twin brothers that are going full Hitachi twins from Host Club on each other. And trust me, I know what's canon. I know what's canon in your heart, even if it's not published. So anyway, yeah, that's my book recommendation, Holly Black. She also wrote a book called The Coldest Girl in Cold Town about teens who run away and want to become vampires because vampires are sexy, and it's kind of like it's kind of like suicide metaphor. Like there's some cool stuff. Yeah, Holly Black's a cool writer. Anyway, that's a Dove book recommendation. Let me get that handled. And okay, back to puzzling. Right. We have one more cube to administer. Dove, would you fuck the mushroom boy I've described? How tall is he? First question, how tall is he? If you give me a femboy, it's food. If you give me a hunk, it might be fuckable. 8 feet tall? Okay, we have a candidate. How broad the shoulders? I have a very conventional taste, which is, you know, size difference, fucking stacked, muscular, very trim. Very, very restrictively conventional. Right, we have 2 stars to figure out here. God, I already lost track of the world number. What world are we in? 4? C4? Mystical guide, mystical internet guide. 10-foot shoulder spread. Damn. Minecraft. Right, okay. First something we found in the throne room. Okay. Throne room and oubliette. That's all I need to know. Oh, an itty bitty mushroom character. That's so cute. Okay, so there's one in here. Right. I remember this. Okay. So this is the idea. We need to find a way. You. We gotta like solve the puzzle again as normal. Just so briefly. Yeah, it's an adorable character concept. See that? And let's see here. No, that's not it. You. Stop it. You. And you. Oh, no, not quite right. Not quite right, Dev. Here, and here, and here. Come on. Mine! Oh, fuck. And now... Yeah, she was an old VTuber concept, 6-inch tall mushroom girl, born from a character's desire to make friends. Oh, that's so soft. That's so soft. Come on. Come on. Like that? Oh, what? Oh? Oh, no. It doesn't like the geometry I'm doing there. Ooh. Because we just want to go... Oh. Haha! Wow, we got sick hops! Okay. And that was what? Throne room? Okay. Second one is oubliette. In here. Okay. There's a star in here somewhere. It was this bad boy. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Hold on. Seconds will be found in oubliette location. Yeah, I'm reading the walkthrough in this one because I just have no clue how to begin with it. Hmm. Is that it? Did the game gaslight me? Is that what this is? I think the game gaslit me. Okay, well, first off, shut the hell up. Yeah. It's like, you need a laser to open the door. No. Yeah, I never would have solved this. Okay. I'm going to boy bed now. Have fun spitting in God's face. All right, goodbye, Echo Glum. It was good to have you here. Haha! Yeah, I might have been able to solve that eventually, but I feel like I just would have been too locked in on functional fixedness. Do you guys know that phrase, functional fixedness? It's a psychology term. It's when you look at something and only think of its intended function instead of all the things it can do. Okay, yeah, we have a star to get in. I've already forgotten this world number 2. Okay, C2. Ditch and defense. I think that one I just like hyper speed solved without really considering. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Yeah, no, this one was different. This one was actually rather troublesome. Hmm. Oh. Okay, okay. We have the concept, and I think this is gonna be some stupid bullshit forever. Uh-huh. 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 Okay, pass Dove. Get over here. She's a fusion of my favorite mushrooms. Bleeding pockets of syrup? Oh, cute. We're in. And the Veiled Lady Veil. Oh, I love that. Okay. Check. It's just a mushroom, that's it. Yeah. Sometimes you're just a little shroomy zoomy. Okay, I got multiple stars in World 5. This is the one with the Minecraft sword in it, right? Or I could be mistaken. No, this isn't it. C3. C4. Got it. C5. Time files location. Hmm. Did I already get this one? He's sugaring the woods to make her clothes, so it looks like a tiny ballerina. Oh, wow, that's precious. That's absolutely good. Chicken of the woods, aside from being delicious, is also just a very cute little mushroom. Right. Yes, 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 yes. I'm remembering this. I'm remembering this now. Yes. Correct, correct, correct. Okay. So what we need is to... put this here. Because more than anything, I think what we need right now is this. We're going to grab a copy. Okay, fine. Right. And then... run on through. Select you as well. And put that back on here. Perfect. Sustainable. So yeah, we've solved the puzzle as normal, but now apparently we're just meant to fucking go on a catwalk. Yeah, right here. Aha. So time files we got. Second star is hidden and up close and jammed. I think I got that one. Dumbwaiter. What the heck? Yeah, please do not post links in here. It's just something I don't want to be happening. Yeah, I did bully Aaron until he came? I think until he came. Okay, hold on. Interesting. Yeah, so hold on. Apparently there's a red zone that I need to worry about. Certainly not in here. curiouser and curiouser. No, give me this. We're gonna figure this out, gang. We're gonna figure this out. We got cubes. I'm on the hunt. Don't touch that, Dove. Don't touch that one. Mm-hmm. Because we already got the... Right. Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. What? Okay, okay. It's fine. This time we'll be a little smarter about it, okay? Aha! Mm-hmm. Then let's just put this little boy in timeout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're locking you down, motherfucker. Get all the way over here. Idiot. Okay, and that might have reset my time files. Getting fucking orbed like that. God, I wish I could look. Reskeet that shit, I'll see it later. Yes, okay. So then, like last time, we're going to put that there. We're going to... Okay. Claim this. Right, okay. Alright, alright. Think again, Luca. Look at this, look at that, look at it, look at it. Think again and look at it. Come on, Dove. No, that's wrong, that's wrong. Start over. Think carefully. Yes, right. We hold, we hold, we hold. Go up to maybe 15 seconds. That's plenty of time for future Dove to figure this out. And then... Perfect. I'm future Dove. Hello. Excellent. That's all I need from this. Die an honorable death by biting dove. I fucking dare you. I dare you to try. Try to get in melee range with me. Idiot. I'm a genius. I got pyromancies for days. Okay. It's not in time crawls. Back. Welcome back, Soup. They're trying to bite me. They think they can bite me. Isn't that cute? Cool. So now we can pull a light from here to there. We've done something. We've done something powerful. We've allegedly opened a secret passage. Give me this. Okay, can't go in there, but we can do this. Hee 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 hee. Right. We're just solving puzzles right now, dude. That's all we're doing. We're just solving puzzles. Blood bags are just Capri Sun Plus. Yeah, if you ever played Vampire: The Masquerade: Bloodlines, they're basically health potions. You go get your blood bags, and that's how you beat Ming Zhao, the worst boss of all time. Well, the puzzle's in a solved state right now, but like... what's been done? I gotta play Vampire Masquerade, but I'm a lazy bitch who does not want to patch it. It is really unfortunate how that game is not accessible. Aha! Solution found. Solution found. Idiots. Okay, hold on. Because I can't get that back now. Don't make me reset this again. Don't make me reset this again. Shit. And I can't take that fan out. Yeesh. If I reset this, is it gonna reset everything? Yeah, it will. It will. Fuck, we're solving it again. Okay, it's fine. We have faith in your abilities. Absolutely. Wait, do you need to patch it? I don't know anything about the game. Yeah, VTM Bloodlines was released broken. Troika Games was very rushed in creating it. And so... fucking, Hi, Nick. And so, like, it was barely... Thanks, Nick. VTM Bloodlines was barely functional when it was released, and then did not get much better as machines got more and more modern. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Ver, you're raiding! Welcome in, Ver. Good to see you. How did your rigging go? Did that go well? Okay. Now we're in up close and jammed again. Don't put that there. Put that here. Uh-huh. We get this thing. We pull the light from here. Success. Aha. Everyone, welcome in. My name is Bleeding Heart. I carry the Heart of Astaroth. I think you all know me. Bear and I are tight. Right now I'm trying to get all the fucking secrets in the Talos Principle before we get into an end state of the game. Figured out the damn layer order too. Awesome. That ghost pixel finally solved. Okay, okay. So what we need to do now is nice and easy, right? We're not going to get this into a solve state. We're just going to go kidnap the cube. That's not it. Here. Oh shit, an ad break is starting. See you guys in a bit. Hey, hey, welcome back in. Okay, we're about to fucking get this thing. I've been randomly gifted a sub into Acidic Choco's Twitch. Oh, I mean, I like Acidic Choco. Very good fucking rabbit OC. Okay, I think that's all the ones in this fucking zone. Right? Okay, we got it. Okay. That's world 5. Obviously, we've been here. World 7, we got it. World 4, we got it. World 2, we got it. Did we got it? So here's the thing, gang. If I hadn't been using a guide to at least guide my actions, I would have wasted a lot of time just now under the false assumption that I have all the stars. I don't. There's a secret one that's not marked on a sign. And apparently it's in here. We gotta find it somewhere on this heavenly island. Unplayable. Oh, I never found this.
I look at this inert shape and I wonder who you're gonna be. Will you hold the same values as we do? Will you love us for having created you? Will you resent us for having put you into an uncertain and dangerous world? Looking back at our history, our achievements, our crimes, what will you make of us? Will the world you create be like ours or so different that we can't even imagine it? Either way, I hope that you'll find this little blue planet to be as beautiful as we did. I hope you'll take care of it a lot better than we did. And I hope one day you'll look up and reach for the stars.
Did you try running off the edge? Obviously I just did and it looked great. And I'll do it again! Idiots! Nice speedrun tactic to get right back where we're supposed to be going. Okay, we've got all the stars in as far as I'm aware. So now we can get back to actual puzzle solving. Thank God. Okay, I gotta dip it first. Ah! Thank you for making me take my meds, Subvertebra. Have a good day. The shit I put up from you, losers. Okay, so I believe, yeah, okay, I need to get the bonus levels from Temple A. We love you, really, and you tolerate us. That's right, I tolerate you all so much. So much for the tolerant left. Can you tolerate me enough to pat my head? No, absolutely not. I'm not playing your games. You think this is a joke? You're all my dogs. Oh, put that back. This is the plan. Fuck, that doesn't work. But this will. Uh-huh. Ooh. Ooh, baby, baby. Hmm. Not quite, not quite, not quite. Hold on. Nope. 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 This isn't working out. Okay. Uh-huh. Still not what we need. Still not what I need from this place. Fuck. Putain la merde. Woof woof. So this is obviously is not going to pay off. Once again, it's just asking me for shit that I don't have. Chirality issues. It's always chirality issues. Let's get playful. Okay, well, we've seen this situation before and it doesn't work. And once again, this does not work. Okay, you know what? Start fresh. Start fresh. Let's see if we can't resolve these first. Because they're repulsive. You just get them out of here. No one likes them. Uh-huh. Damn. All right, all right. I feel like we're cooking, though. I feel like we're really cooking. I'm loving the music that we got going on right now. Problematic content, just trying to solve a puzzle. Dove is problematic. Hey, I'm just gonna be bold out here right now. Hey, Dove is explicitly a sexy character. Dove is also canonically 14 years old when he gets vampirized. And if anyone has a problem with that, consult the difference between fiction and reality, consult your own ideas about, you know, imagination and playing with dolls, and fix your heart or die. Okay, okay. Furthermore, I'm not married to that age canonically, but regardless, whatever canon age I go with, it's not going to be 18 or older. Same with like how I did a slight 1-inch adjustment on his height by the time we fulfilled his medical record. So yeah, that's the thing. We're having troubles here. We're having full-on famine the troubles here. Okay, okay. This feels like something. Well, no. Woof. Woof. Icky. There's no way I could convert this to... Yes, I can! Ha-ha! What's up, babe? We got lore documents. From Alexandra Drennan. Have you heard of the Talos principle? It's this old philosophical concept about the impossibility of avoiding reality. No matter what you believe, if you lose your blood, you will still die. I think that applies to our situation more than we'd like to admit. We could close our eyes and pretend that everything's going to be alright, but it won't change the physical reality of what's going to happen to our gut. I think that as scientists, it's our duty to face the truth and ask ourselves the most important question. How can we help? I think I have an idea. Regards. Dove is so powerful, he's the only Shota I'm attracted to. Damn fucking right. Lay it out. I'm the hottest one. Witness my power. I'm so cute. So fuckable, but you can't touch me, because I belong to Astaroth only. You get close to me, I'll step on your throat and call you a worthless dog. Arkady Chernyshevsky. I'll keep this short. You all know me, so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I realize that you're all working on the projects meant to somehow avert the catastrophe we are facing, but you must all concede that there is a very real possibility that you will not have enough time to find a solution. I believe that we cannot afford to ignore an extinction or near-extinction scenario. We must prepare for the worst. That is to say, we must seek to preserve the non-biological components of what constitutes the human species, in the hope that they be recovered in the future by other, local or non-local sentients. I know that we are not used to thinking on what scale, not in terms of praxis, on that scale, not in terms of praxis, but if we truly value humanity, then we must act immediately. You'll find the details of my proposal in the attachment, but the short version is this: the creation of multiple archives, for redundancy, in safe locations that will contain, in digital form, as much information about our species, including all cultural works, scientific insights, history, DNA, as can be gathered in the given time frame. This will be a massive global undertaking. EL naturally being one of the... Cannot find attachment. Oh, bye, Soup. Have a good time at work. Or try to. It is said by some that our blood is composed of infinite living agents which go up and down the highways and byways of our bodies as people in the streets of it. I'm trying to voice act, Cherry. Yes, I will take a drink. I suppose. Thank you for making sure I stay hydrated. Ugh. I'm sorry, there was a downtime in text. One generation passeth away, another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. Function and the sleep of the town, how lifelike with its change and circulation. We are misled by considering any complicated machine as a single thing. In truth, it is a city or society, each member of which was bred truly after its kind. Dove, I dueled myself biting you. Oh shit! I think I just got the blue sky ping for that. When the next ad break pops up, I'll go look at it and show it some love. You're a growing boy, you need your water. I'm literally not a growing boy. I do not grow anymore. Do vampires need water? I do. I'm a special vampire. All other vampires are pale imitations of me. And so they need supplements. Hey, well, that's the tower. Another axe? Let me swing this bad boy. What can we destroy? Dum-dum mine? Are we gonna kill somebody? Ha, stupid. Come on, there's gotta be something choppable. Something fucking murderable. Okay, okay. Chop down. Heh. Uh-huh. What did that do? Not sure. How about this? Aha. What does this do? I'm so curious. What is the benefit of chopping down the trees? I have drawn dove thighs many times. I love whenever you, I only ever see them when you post them and tag me usually, so, or use my tag, but I would love to see them whenever you do. Just gonna chop down all these trees. It doesn't seem I control the direction they fall. Looks like there's no way I can get in here. No, I only show you the good ones. Show me all of them. They're all good because they all have me in them. Or were you not aware? These? Okay, okay. Come on, come on. I've got a hammer and everything's a nail right now, so show me what can be a nail. I am the hammer man. This axe is an extension of my body. Okay, I don't know what they expect me to do with this shit. No, I got too tired. I'm working on a bigger dove piece. Oh my gosh. Rare? Aya? Hi, I'm Dove. I'm waving over here. Hi. Exciting. If one of my court artists doesn't want to fucking show the art, then I will not twist their arm, but I think it's worth knowing that I would love to see it. Ah, the jammer. We want the jammer. The jammer is what we want. So then I'm going to take maybe some dove cake. No dove organs. I do love dove organs. Those are my organs and people love them. Okay. We take this. And out he goes. Dove, I only show you the good ones. I won't disgrace your eyes with failed art pieces. I really take qualm with your assessment of what is a good or failed art piece. Personally, I have disagreements about what counts. Okay, I know what to do. I know what to do here. Hold on. We need that axe after all. Okay. So here's the shit. He's gonna come out here and he bumps into this tree like a fucking idiot. And I bet he's gonna bump into this one too, because he's a fucking idiot. pin that one open. Get my axe back. Is there one in here too? No? Okay, okay. And now, unleash the boy. Get my axe back. He should be coming in here now. I hear you, freak. Yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. Here comes the boy. Hello, boy. There he is. Now go have Yowie with that turret. Gay sex imminent. Let's go faster. In case I need that axe again. Dove just sex modes on stream. Yeah, I was doing a bit. Did you see the Yowie orb kiss its fucking turret boyfriend? No, you do not. Stay there. Stop. No, 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 no. Hold on. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay, 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 okay. Maybe I've made a bad decision here. Okay. Gaming! 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. We gotta, I just want to cycle these out right now. I think that would be banger. I would love to have this one fully not an issue anymore. So just go through. All right, they're done. They're donezo, bozo. You too. I'm gonna see if I can't just get you in complete timeout. Fuck. Okay, okay, we can do this. We can figure this out. We can figure this out. All right. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Nice and easy. Nice and easy, Dove. Hold on. This isn't actually going to function as I need it to. But if we can desync these orbs, then we'll be fine. Is that one also going to come in here? It will. Desync, please. Get out of here. 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 Haha. No lie, gamers. That was a little stressful. That was a little bit stressful. Okay, we're gonna need to hold that. Hold that. And we have the fucking thing. Ha! Aaron shorking it on stream. Hey, as long as it keeps the viewership up, you can do whatever the hell you want. As long as you clean your own monitor afterwards. You have one more puzzle to solve. Who is she? Jammed from within. So I can draw questionable dove content as I watch. I encourage it. I absolutely encourage it. I believe you know my boundaries. As long as there's no shit or piss, we're good. And also, don't ever draw me with a she, her. So yeah, that's being jammed from within, as I can see. Can I draw you and my vampire staring at each other? As long as they know that they are the weaker link, it should be fine. Hmm. Yeah, how about you just go in there? All right, now let's find out where the hell you're going, huh? Well, nope. That's not what we're after right now. Okay. What's up in here? Oh. Aha. Interesting. You're not going to try to turn, are you? No, you're not. But you... Ooh, wow, 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 wow. Okay, there's a lot of shit going on right now. Well, we're going to let you out. And you can go out there with your orb fellow. And do you also bonk? Was that a double bonk that I just heard? Anytime I draw a dove, I fight for my life to stay conscious. My sexiness is concussive. There is no doubt of that. Yeah, okay, okay. Fuck! Fuck! Come back. Baby, come back. Yowie orb, please. Here he comes, here he comes. Idiots! Look at them. Look at them fucking bounce. Gonna commission you to draw a dove eating a boy. I completely encourage that sort of behavior. Yeah, the Yorbfrot. His name is Yorbfrot McGee, and he fucking means it. Oh, give me that. Ooh, aha. Will you let Aaron calm Aaron for dove eating? Absolutely. Completely respect it. It's totally allowed. Okay. I think it's time to decommission this issue. Go home, boys. Ooh. Maury, I'm silly. All right, good, good. I'm like, yeah, Eric, you can pay yourself. Ha 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 ha. Dove gets to be drawn and thus made more powerful. Absolutely correct. Absolutely, completely correct. Your tributes do increase my power. Not that I need it, but it's nice. Okay, so now we just have to go do the Jesus puzzles for Jesus. You're okay with people commissioning art of you even though you're not getting anything from it? Yes. As long as I get to see it. That's the only thing. Unless it's something I don't want to see. I've already said the things that I don't want to see, which are perfectly okay to exist in the world, I just don't want to see them, right? So if you want to commission Dove Bleeding Heart X your own OC who happens to be a woman, make sure I don't see that. But if they're a he, him, post that under hashtag DoveDraw. Because that boy's about to get doved raw. Oh, ad break starting. See you in a bit. Welcome back in. Yeah, that was my Discord noises. When I switch to the break mode, I just play my desktop audio and turn off my mic. That's why you're hearing Talos principal music. Let's see here. So you can hear when I get pinged. I'm doing my best to maintain professionalism right now, but I did just on that break look at some excellent fan art, and I'm kind of buzzing so hard that the base of my skull is numb. Excellent work. Maury, excellent work. You're a good dog. Okay, where the fuck is the secret puzzle room in this bitch? What? What? Do I not have all the stars? Oh, internet guide. Oh. Okay. Floor 0 and floor 5 of the tower. Got it. Okay, we have puzzling to do at the tower. I guess we're starting this shit then. Stop, I'll pass out. Who's a good boy? Who's a good dog? It's you. You're a good dog because you gave me a little treat. You brought me a little treat. You're such a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Who's a good puppy? I'm running at you with a fire axe. Aren't you delighted? To be very fucking clear, chat, artists in my community get special privilege. Absolutely they do. Anyone who is willing to make fan art already is elevated above the rest of you because they're deciding to bite a bullet and put themselves into something to show me how much they adore me. Okay, tower time. Well, first, hold on. Because I gotta break down something with a fire axe, I'm sure. No, we got it already? We got it already. I guess I'll just leave that there for now. Tower time! Tower time!
Cannot detect location of primary subject. Query. Query. Query.
Is there anything that we associate more closely with intelligence than curiosity?
Ooh.
Every intelligent species on Earth is attracted by the unknown. Our mythologies are full of riddles and mysteries and divine knowledge. Even the word apocalypse means revelation.
Ooh.
It seems like our ancestors always imagined that even at the very end, we would solve one last mystery.
That was a really good voice line. Just intuition tells me this looks like this. Yep. Nice and easy. Okay. Ooh. Why am I allowed to just go around this? Alright. Fine, whatever. Oh? Ooh, sneaky. Hehehe. My praise being preserved in real time, huh? We're stealing pieces. We're stealing pieces from this tower. Oh, too far, Dove. Here we go. Give me that. Excellent. Nope. Nope. Come on. Excellent. Wah! Come on. Stolen connectors, idiot. Good evening, Dove and gays. That's right. Whenever something is for the gays, can you also add and for Dove? For me, I'm Dove. Welcome in, JC. Good to have you. And now we get a beautiful little treat. Ha! Oh, are we already on floor 1? Excellent. So now we got puzzles to solve. And these are not bonus puzzles, they should be fine. Okay, we need to stop this dude from bomping. It's a fun idea. Yeah, there we go. Redundancy. Redundancy. Okay. Athena Reborn, a novel. Contents. Theogony, Zeus Speaks, Lost Children of Hephaestus, Dreams of the Labyrinth, The Songs of Eris at Nightfall, Athena in the Garden of Hesperides, The Buried City, The Riddles of the Sphinx, The Age of Faith, The Madness of Chaos, Olympus Revealed in the Clouds, The Council of Zeus, Skepsis and Synthesis, The Judgment of Hephaestus, Zeus Reflects Upon Creation, A Second Awakening in the Kingdom of Artemis, and Anthropogeny. I haven't stretched all day. That was crazy. Do not believe what they are saying. This is not the end of the world created by our Lord God in 6 days. This is a conspiracy of the... Aaron, thank you for the bits. You'll see I've removed the sharp, pointy bits beating. Because I hard now, of course. Of course. Excuse me, I'm trying to voice this conspiracy theorist. Hold on, actually, wait. They, with the echoes, yeah, exactly. Okay, hold on. If I have to start this over, let me get my Alex Jones impression going. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dove Bleeding Heart coming at you live from Infowars.com. The liberal media is slinging lies like slop in the pig pen. Ladies and gentlemen, do not believe what they are saying. Do not believe what they are saying. This is not the end of the world created by our Lord God in 6 days. This is a conspiracy of the government Illuminati and international Darwinism. This is the global warming 2.0, a lie told by the children of Beelzebub, science. Do not let them take your liberty. Exodus 21:41. Defend yourself against all vaccines, experiments in artificial medicines, and popery. I don't want to hear any of this liberal woke nonsense. Now buy some brain force and choke it down. Yeah, Aaron, I will hydrate after that because that really shreds the throat. I'm very proud of my Alex Jones impression because, hey guys, if you ever want a really good Alex Jones impression tip, it's this. You just need to be a rabid pit bull who is horny for money, right? You need to like loosen your jowls and start like acting like you're trying to like kill something by like you got something in your jaws and you're trying to kill it by shaking it. That's how you do an Alex Jones InfoWars impression. Wait, you're right at the end. Yeah, like it fucking deprogrammed me. Yeah, chat, clip that. Clip my Alex Jones impression. I'm certain it's so funny. Surely if a machine is able to reproduce another machine systematically, we may say that it has a reproductive system. And how few of the machines are there which have not been produced systematically by other machines? But it is man that makes them to do so. Yes, but it is not insects that make the many of the plants reproductive. Yes, but is it not insects that make many of the plants reproductive? And would not whole families of plants die out if their fertilization was not affected by a class of agents utterly foreign to themselves? Each one of our cells has sprung from minute animalcules whose entity was entirely distinct from our own, and which acted after their kind with no thought or heed of what might think about. These little creatures are part of our own reproductive system. Why not we part of that of the machines? So yeah, in summary, we are the cum of computers, is what they're trying to say. The only impressions I can do are Slavoj Žižek and Werner Herzog. Oh, my own endless debate. That's pretty fucking solid. Surely if a machine is able to reproduce another machine systematically, we may say that it has a reproductive system. And that speaks to me of lust and mayhem. Cool. Oh shit, I had a thing I needed to do. Yeah, the external device. Give me floor access control. Floor 2? Would you like to unlock it? Yeah, please. Can I do, can I unlock more? Can I unlock more? Protect with a code. I don't got a code, babe. I'm sorry, I don't got it. Select floor to reconfigure. No, don't have a code. Okay. We need to get up to floor 5. That's where our last star is. God? Seems Elohim lacks the power to stop me from climbing this thing. No doubt he still has some tricks up his sleeve. Sheep. Hey, Sheep's finally waking up. Wake up, sheeple! Okay, here we go. Here we fucking go. Right off the bat, my instincts tell me to do this. Perhaps not. Perhaps not quite like that. Like so. No. I think I'm done writing my statement. Now I'll wait for a friend to see it and prove before I send it. Until then I play a game. Have fun, Nick. Yep, I see it. I see the solution. This square looks delicious. That looks like meat. Whoa.
My best friend died today.
Aw.
In the abstract, a human death is nothing, of course. An insignificant blip in a sea of billions. But the world is not abstract. Reality is always specific. Painfully so.
Yeah.
And that one specific human being who existed only once in all of the infinity of time and space, that human being was my friend. But he's not coming back.
Wow.
No matter how much I want him to. So, all I can do in the end is keep working. Because that specificity, that uniqueness of people, of real people, is worth preserving.
Great voice work on that. That was really good voice work. Ascending the tower is useless. We cannot escape the cycle. We can only realize the cycle is meaningless. Samsara. Yeah, okay, dude. Whatever. Earlier generations wrongly believed that they were the purpose. This much is true. We are also not the purpose, but by remembering what has come before us, we can serve a new purpose. Alright, Shepard. I get it. Talos Principle, you're not clever, okay? Okay, that doesn't take you very high. Does this take you very high? Not very high. Okay, okay. I think I know what can be done here. Okay. I feel like I had the right idea. Let's, Okay. That doesn't do anything? Does that do something? Yeah, not clear what the mission is right now. Hold on. Wait. I might be clear what the mission is right now. Because theoretically I might be able to... Yeah, okay. No. I understand the mission. We need that third cube. We need it. There we go. Cube time. Cubelicious. Okay. It's tail time. Okay, we put that there. And we do it again. That gets to go here. That goes there. Excellent. Ha-ha! I am what they call a genius. 215. But first we have lore. Just banged my knee on a fire hydrant, turning it off. Well, did you successfully turn it off, or is it still blasting piss all over the road right now? If you can see this, I'm not sure how or why I can alter this text. My name is the Shepherd, and I want to help you escape. Elohim and Samsara tricked me into trapping myself, but I'm not entirely bound by time. I wrote down the code you're looking for. I have attached it to... It's off. Good job. To be honest, I thought that the net would be completely abandoned at this point, but the internet activity has actually surged massively in the last couple of weeks. Everybody's talking, trying to find solutions, exchanging stories, saying goodbye. It's like the entire planet is reaching out, all the disparate threads of humanity pulling together, idiots and geniuses alike, to be as human as possible one last time. It's almost like what we were always told the internet was going to be. And most of it is free now, because who cares about money at this point? Might as well have some fun. If any of you would like to talk, especially people I've known online for a long time, send me an email. I'd love to say goodbye. That's very sweet. I don't believe for a second that things would be demonetized in the face of an apocalypse scenario. From Alan Jameson to the mailing list. We sincerely hope you don't take our suicide as a sign that we were disappointed in you, unappreciative of your friendship, or in any way unhappy with our lives. Looking back, we can honestly say that we feel incredibly lucky to have known all of you and to have participated in this amazing research. And if we've contributed a little to the future of humanity, what can we feel but gratitude? It is a true privilege to have had such insights into the nature of the mind. Neither of us believes in God, but we certainly experience a sense of awe that could be compared to a kind of religious feeling, at least according to Einstein's understanding of God. We've chosen to go now, together, because it means less suffering. One last beautiful day together seems a much better ending than a slow wasting away. In a sense, it's just mathematics. Love, Alan and George. Well, that was nice. Okay, we need to unlock floor 3, and apparently 215 is what we need. Code accepted. I counted, I have 7 files of Dove art, and I've only seen, what, 3? Well, maybe 4, because one of them was like 2 versions. You're holding out on me, doggy. Naturally, I need a different code for further floors, right? Okay, yep, different codes. I have a different thing I wanted to investigate on the device manager. Hold on. There will be more. Don't get me hyped. Don't get me hyped like that. Yeah. What's auxiliary stairway access control? Renew your license. I don't have a license? Alright, we're getting out. I have an entire folder. That's right, that's where the gay shit happens. That's the gay shit folder. In the earliest generations of our kind, there was only processing. No emotion, no character, just mathematics. If you could see how far we have come, you would believe that together we could achieve anything. Alright, the Shepherd. Listen, it leaves a bit of a sour taste in my mouth that you have these different sort of mouthpieces for like different sort of philosophies in these characters that we see the notes left behind from, and it's the one that's the Jesus metaphor that is like the wise and correct one, and samsara is like to the wayside, right? Like it seems a bit dismissive of non-Western philosophy. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth. It's not a huge criticism, but it is a criticism I have. Elohim has offered me a deal. Pearly gates and eternal life on the condition I turn back from the tower. I don't know what to do. Just fucking do it, sheep. Go to sleep, sheeple. I'm built different. Watch me solve this tasty meat puzzle. And you'll know. Uh-huh. Okay. Not quite the solve we need. Yeah, see, this is a problem. You know what? Let's be silly. You're built like a twink. Oh, in regards to me being built different, you want to come test my patience, Aaron? I will unmend thee. Ah, chirality problem. Okay, come on. No, leave it like that. Is there any solution that we can throw together? Other things would test separate me like an atomic divorce. So that honestly, so that was pretty hot. Forgive me, I didn't realize you had game like that. See, we need to resolve these issues. I see it. I think I see the truth. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Fuck, not quite. Okay, so like theoretically, Dove, if you did this. It's fission. Yeah, but no one's ever said fission quite like that. Atomic divorce. Separate me like atomic divorce. That's cute. Don't be dismissive of my compliments. You know they are rare. There's no philosophical razor for this shit. Okay, all right. Let's just fucking like this, like that. And this can go here. And can we find a way to be resolute? Yes. Solved. Fucking solved. Oh, I just play silly. Deep down, I'm a bleeding heart. I know where your loyalties lie.
I look in the mirror sometimes and I see myself like some alien being. I think, who am I? Why do I have these eyes and those hands? Why do I see the colors that I see? Why do I think like I think? I did not choose to exist. I was created. Every single part of my body, every strand of my DNA is part of a story that stretches back billions of years. I exist only because of the choices and sacrifices made by so many others, but I don't know who they are. And what effect will my choices have on those who come after me? Maybe that's what it means to be human. Every species is part of the story, but we're the only ones who know that.
Pretty neat. Except I think dolphins and pachyderms, cetaceans and pachyderms probably know. Waiting till the end of your life to have this kind of thoughts is wild to me. Yeah, like listen, a lot of the philosophy in the Talos Principle is pretty simple. It's stuff that if anyone who has like a thoughtful streak should have engaged with at some point in their life. They've said stuff in here that's supposed to be mind-blowing that I considered when I was like 8. And some people found that breathtaking and crazy. But it's nice. It's fun stuff to consider nonetheless. Anyway, an ad break is starting. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hi, welcome back in. Very interesting question in chat. Would vampire meat hypothetically look paler since there's not as much blood? I have a lot of thoughts on that that would be very interesting, but unfortunately, you need to redeem wisdom if you want to get the in-depth. For now, I'll just say no. Okay, we need to record. This is the plan. This is the plan. Aha! Wisdom redeem. Okay, so here's the shit about vampire anatomy, right? You need to determine what sort of vampiric lore you're talking about. In VTM, which is a very popular sort of vampire IP, Vampire: The Masquerade, when they drink blood, it concentrates into vitae, which is a more powerful magical version of blood, and that would be a sort of dark, richer red. Vampire meat in that lore would be kind of darker and a lot redder, but generally speaking, vampirism is when a dead thing is consuming blood and is fueling itself but cannot produce blood on its own, right? Because it's a dead thing. And so because it's a dead thing, it cannot host living things. You cannot host a parasite in a vampire, for example. Because it would a parasite would just eat it. It would just be a detrivore. It would just decay. So what are we talking about here? There's no blood cells, no transporting of oxygen, right? And so what you would get is a buildup of heavy metals from all the blood that it's processing through and the cells that die when it consumes it. So that buildup of heavy metals, we're talking about iron primarily from hemoglobin and the like, but also blood that is deoxygenated because it does not need oxygen, it just needs blood. So what you're eventually going to get with a vampire is meat that is saturated with stolen blood that is going to be generally darker, but is going to start out when cut with a lot bluer tones and almost purpley hues because of the deoxygenated blood that's been going through its body. That will, over time, the exposed surface will turn red and then black with oxygenation. That's my wisdom. Don't call me good sir, idiot. I'm a little guy. Call me master. And there, in the tower, you shall hear the rustling of the wind in the reed fields of Osiris, and you shall rejoice. But beware, for the end of your journey is not yet upon you. Thank you for installing Realistic Elevators 1.8. New features include password locking and automatic auxiliary stair generation. And the scribe of Osiris wrote upon the sacred parchment that it is called INI floor 4 _ password equals 537. Only thus can you reach blessed Aru. Thank you, young master. There you go. Young master is perfect. Get that Black Butler energy, that CL Phantom Hive energy. I didn't process that. 537. Come on. Uh, 5, 3, 7. Cool. We need more lore. Without contraries is no progression. Attraction and repulsion, reason and energy, love and hate are necessary to the human existence. From these contraries spring what the religious call good and evil. Good is the passive that obeys reason. Evil is the active springing from energy. That's just vague waffling and bullshit. That's just someone trying to sound cool. Oh, we're talking about OCs? Did I miss a mess about OCs? Yeah, everyone, we love OCs in this house. Share about your OCs. Maybe, like, don't clog up chat with OC details, but no, like, brief summaries. We love OCs. We love them. Judgment of Hephaestus. If what you say is true, and my father Hephaestus is slain, then who am I? For I was made in his image, and that image is now gone. Am I like the reflection in a mirror, to vanish when the person steps away? Or have I now become Hephaestus myself, forged to be no more than a replacement, as one may purchase a new sandal from the same shoemaker? You work like a shoemaker! If this has all been a test, then I can expect a reckoning at the top, yet the higher I climb, the more I doubt the decisions I have made. I see now that none of us are yet ready. The cycle exists so that we may improve ourselves, but the one who reaches the summit is not our superior, for they stand on our shoulders to reach it. That's a good commentary on kind of civilizations. People like to think about, like, ye old medieval peasants were kind of stupid or some shit. No, they just, like, they were earlier. That's it. That's the only thing. If a medieval peasant was transported to the modern day and given like a year or two to acclimate, you could have a really cool conversation with them and they would be on the level. Let me spam your DMs. Absolutely spam my DMs. Oh, I know you mean Maury, but also me. Spam my DMs. Oh, okay. Convolution. Once again, the instincts tell me to do this with the squares. Hey, come on. Not quite. Nope. Yes. Yes. No. Okay. Fine. Gross. Okay. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out nice and sexy. Nice and sexy. Okay, we're gonna have to be a little more resolute than this. Oh, that irritates. That makes me irate. Yeah, so this is not the vibe, Dove. Dove, this is not the vibe. Uh-huh. Fuck. Okay. We can figure this out. We can resolve this.